This is the R7 mini driver, and I'm going to play around with the weights being in the heel and the toe to see how much difference in direction we get from that change. I'm going to start with the 13 gram in the heel and the heel. So these are a bit closer together, but the weights are this side of the club head. Then I'm going to swap them around and see what they do. So let's see what we get from this being in the heel. Not bad. Having hit this in neutral settings, I did get a bit of a right bias. But with Taylormade, if you're looking to get a little bit more help to get it left, there's 2 settings extra you can use in the loft adjustment on here. On the opposite side to standard is a blank setting, and when you take it out, it says upright. And when you go upright, you bring the ball flight more to the left. So you can use that to bring the ball flight left. You can use the weights in the heel to bring the ball flight left. Or instead of upright, you can go higher, because when you go higher, it shuts the face. So it's a little bit more closed. When you go lower in loft, it tends to open the face, generally with Taylormade. But I do just have this on the standard loft setting. Yeah, a bit more neutral, nice. Felt quite easy to get that through the ball. Decent shot. Yeah, there we go. Letting the ball draw a bit more. And I feel like with the weights in that orientation, it just allows me to sort of move the club that way. It allows me to shut the face a little bit more. Got a bit more access to that movement. So let's get 13 grams out of the heel, 4 grams out of the toe, and swap them around. And same again on the other side. Now the weights at the back won't necessarily make as much left to right directional change. It'll be the 2 in the front that make more change, because they're further away from the center of the face. With these weights being here quite central, it won't have as much influence, but we do have a nice contrast of 9 grams between the 2 in the front. So weights in the toe, what have we got? Whoa, definite change in feel. Okay, I kind of let that go, but I think that is much harder. I won't include that one in the data because it was a little bit added by me, but I could definitely feel, yeah, okay. So I found like the PXG mini driver and PXG woods in general have the weights quite far outside the head. It's quite in the toe, it's quite in the toe, and it's quite far back and it's quite far forward. They do spread them out. So I do see a big variance in flight from them. We're not as far out from the center in these two, but maybe there's enough mass in them to give us a bit of variance. That's moved right, isn't it? Again, just trying to put stock swings on these and not feeling like I'm doing anything different. And that ball is squeezing to the right, so we've got a decent difference there. I'm gonna hit one more stock swing. Yep, that definitely moves. And then I'm going to delete this one, but I'm going to try and hit a big draw. So this is on purpose, a big draw, feeling, delivery. Sternum goes here so I can get into out more. If you haven't seen my other video, see, look, draw. Alright. So if you haven't seen my other video, I get my sternum over here to help me get into out. But I can't shut the face down. Let me have one more, that was fun. Basically gone where the stock swings are gone. Whoa, I've had to work very hard for that. So toe weights, decent influence, and the amount is on here. So last 2 there, I was messing around. The first one that went further right, and I just kind of let it 44 yards right. Yeah, let's ignore you as well. So I've got 3 good ones against 3 good ones. Offline, 3.3 yards on average in the heel, 27.5 yards right in the toe. That's a decent difference. I've seen similar numbers from that in PXG drivers, but that's 30 yards of variance. Quite impressive indeed. Angle of descent 35.6 against 36.5, very similar landing angle. Peak height 84 against 86, very similar peak height. So it's not changed the height too much. I mean, we're not moving the weight front or back, we're just moving it either side of the center line. But 266 against 263, 288, 284, very similar dispersion rings in terms of size, just the direction of them very different. That has changed quite impressively. 159.4 against 161, and then just under the 3,000 barrier with the old spin rate. I'm pleasantly surprised by that. I didn't think it would move as much left to right, but I could definitely feel the difference through the ball. With the weight in the heel, just felt it easier to get that thing to turn over. I did have to try hard, but then I had to try really hard with the weights in the toe, so good influence on direction. So if you're looking to manipulate your ball flight with a setting on the club instead of changing your swing, you can have a little go on one of them. But don't forget to jump in the comments, and I will see you on the next video.